welcome. If you are new here, my name is Edith. About 2 months ago, I shared the motivation letter that I used for my successful Erasmus Mundus Master application. Some of you have contacted me asking if I could share a similar document for my PhD application. And so today, I'm going to be sharing my CV and the cover letter that I used for my successful PhD application. So I did my PhD in Chemical and Process Engineering at the University of Chemistry and Technology in Prague. I would like to mention that I prepared this application document about 8 years ago in 2015 before I started to learn about the recent concepts on how to prepare a competitive CV and cover letter. And so I'm going to be commenting on the documents, especially the areas that I didn't do very well. And so I would encourage you to watch the video to the end. I'm going to be commenting on the aspects of these documents that I would do differently if I were applying today. So let's get started. I'll just share my screen. So let's start with the cover letter. I have the address here. This is my address. I was still in the Erasmus Mundus Master program. I was finishing. And so I used the address of the program just as a care of. And this is the date on which I was writing the letter. Then I have the recipient address here. I wrote graduate admissions, University of Chemistry and Technology, Prague, Czech Republic. So what I will do differently today is I will look up the name of the graduate studies coordinator and address the cover letter directly to this person instead of making it very general and generic. So for example, if the person in charge of the graduate studies is called Professor Johnson, I will directly write here Professor Johnson, Graduate Studies Coordinator, University of Chemistry and Technology, Prague, Czech Republic. And then when it comes to the salutation, I will directly say Dear Professor Johnson instead of Dear Hiring Officer, which is generic and outdated. Also, the title of the letter is Application for PhD Position. Again, it's very generic. I will be more specific and indicate the PhD position that I'm applying for. So, application for PhD position in Chemical and Process Engineering. And then my opening paragraph, I would be very happy to be considered for the PhD position on the title, Synthesis of Functional Materials by Controlled Assembly of Nanoparticles. As you will see from my enclosed CV, I have graduated from the Erasmus Mundus Master in Membrane Engineering program this summer. Yeah, I have programmed twice, so please don't do this. Don't be like me. And previously holds a biochemistry degree with 2 years of academic and industrial research experience. So the first paragraph should be just a summary of what is it that you're applying for, who are you, and what is your background. Basically, I'm applying for the PhD position on this title. I'm a recent graduate from this program and I have this number of experience, this number of years of academic and industrial research experience. So it's just like a short summary of your profile. Like, who are you? What are you applying for? But I think what you can also do to make it more interesting is to state where you found this position advertised. So I would be very happy to be considered for the position on this title, which was advertised on LinkedIn or ResearchGate or wherever you found the position advertised. Some of you might be wondering, why do I have a specific title of the PhD position? So in Prague at UCT, where I studied my PhD, the application procedure is in a way that you have to contact a potential supervisor who has advertised a specific PhD project. And so when you're applying for the program, you have to include the title of the project you are applying to. This was the title of the project which was advertised that I applied for. So you apply specifically to the PhD project. Even though you're applying to the graduate program in general, you have a specific project that you're applying to. I think this is a strong opening to say directly what you're applying for and then give an overview about your experience just in a short summary form, as I did here. Then I continued to the second paragraph where I spoke about my background and what makes me a good fit for the program. So you want to think about all your experiences that will be related to the project or the PhD program in general. So my background is quite diverse, and so I just tried to capture how this is going to be related to the PhD program. And so I just wrote here, this position appears to be an ideal blend of my background and experience in the fields of biochemistry, material science, membrane engineering, and nanoscience and nanotechnology. Yeah, I think this is a little bit too much like a shopping list. So if I was applying today, I would reduce this list. I would probably just mention three of the areas that are closely related to the PhD program. My interest in functional porous materials stems from their great technological importance in catalysis, particle filtrations, bioseparations, pharmaceutical products, environmental protection, and related fields. So I was just trying to make a link between the fact that I know what the program or this project, what are the potential applications of these projects in catalysis or environmental protection, etc. Then I went into a bit into my background by saying during my master thesis, which involved fabricating porous membranes from electrically conductive polymer composites using different methods, I realized by adopting various top down and bottom up techniques, it is possible to develop new functional materials and engineer them for improved performances. I was very excited when I discovered this research theme because it matches my interests and most of my experiences in material synthesis and characterization. I would therefore be very happy to join the Bioengineering and Advanced Functional Materials Lab for my PhD to facilitate developing new high performance materials and incorporate these into various applications such as catalysis or CO2 capture. Yes, so what I did here was just to mention, as you can see, the cover letter is just one page and you cannot really go into too much detail. So I mentioned that during my master thesis, I was preparing some membranes and also characterizing them. And then I tried to link it to this project, how, yeah, I can also use these skills to prepare new materials for application in either catalysis or CO2 capture. So this was the main theme of the project, to make some materials for CO2 capture and catalysis. It's just about establishing that I have done this previously and this project fits my interest and this will be the application. So that was just what I did here. Then I continued further. I am a highly motivated individual who has worked as part of various teams in industrial R&D related fields consisting of researchers from different disciplines. So in a way, I'm trying to communicate that I have teamwork abilities. I have also developed excellent listening, communication, problem solving, and organizational skills through my BSc, MSc studies, and internships. I'm easygoing and can work in a team and accommodate a diversity of views. Moreover, I have a great desire to learn and want to constantly improve myself. I am confident that my expertise in membrane engineering and experience in both academic and industrial research and my strong organizational skills make me an ideal match for this position, and I will make a valuable contribution to the progress of the project. I also just try to kind of push in some of my additional skills apart from this research that I did, that I've worked as part of different teams. So PhD work is more about teamwork and also collaborating with people. So I was just trying to demonstrate that I have these capabilities to work as part of a team. Other additional skills that are required for a PhD, such as communication, collaboration, and all these organizational skills. Maybe what would make it a bit more impactful is to include specific examples. So I was working as part of group projects during my MSc, which enhanced my teamwork ability, or instances of communication, like if I've presented in a conference or during an internship, I worked to solve some problems. I led a project. So some specific examples will be more impactful rather than just listing all these different skills that I have. And then you also have to demonstrate that you are confident about your skills and that they match the position, and to say basically you will make a contribution to the project. Then I went on to the last paragraph, which is about the university. Why are you interested in this university? What is it about them that you think is unique or different? Why did you choose this university rather than another university? You want to demonstrate to the university that you have thought about coming there on purpose and it's not just by accident. So, why do you think they are different and will be a good fit for you? Why are they the most suitable university you want to do your PhD in? So, you have to find those reasons that work for you. I started this paragraph by saying I'm particularly excited about returning to Prague to pursue my PhD at UCTP. Most importantly, because of UCTP's key focus and record in delivering quality teaching and research, thanks to the advanced technologies available. Having studied in 4 different universities in 4 different countries during my master program, I can say without doubt that the semester in Prague was the most fulfilling, which broadened my horizon of thinking and learning while offering an environment for making new friends and integrating easily, which was also due to the unwavering support from the International Relations Office of the university. So, first thing that I will improve is the length. I would somehow break this down into shorter sentences because, yeah, it's a bit too long and you don't really have a breathing space. So, what I want to mention here is that you want to demonstrate that you intentionally decided to do the PhD program there and it's not because, yeah, you just found it randomly. So, what are the reasons why you want to go there to do your studies? I was already studying for 6 months during my Erasmus program in Prague. And so I just said, I have experienced the teaching environment in UCTP. I liked what I saw and I would like to come back. So this is like a strong indication that you really want to come there. Or maybe you know some friends who have studied in that university and they told you about it. Or you've read about the activities on LinkedIn. Anything that you can write to convince the committee that you know their value and you are interested in coming there will be a plus. And then, yeah, so as I said, I would probably break this into 2 or 3 sentences because it's a bit too long. I can say without doubt that that was the most fulfilling semester, which broadened my horizon of thinking and learning. Yeah, I also had opportunity to make new friends and integrate easily, which was due to the unwavering support from the International Relations Office of the university. So you are using concrete examples. Why did you decide to come back to UCT? Or if you are going to a university for the first time, what is it about that university that stood out to you? And then finally, I closed on a very positive and anticipatory note. I would appreciate an opportunity to further discuss my experiences and expertise related to this position. Thank you very much for your consideration. So, you want to say, I really want to come here, and you are looking forward to discuss with them further how your experiences will fit into their program. So, that was the cover letter that I used for my successful PhD application. And now I'll show you the CV. So this was the CV that I used for my PhD application. And as I said, it's very outdated. I will be specifying the things that I would change if I was using the same, if I was making the same application now. First thing is that it's really long. I have the CV up to 5 pages, which is ridiculously long. So this is a no-no. And also I use these blue colors all through, which is very distractive. So I will get rid of them. Curriculum vitae at the top here is not necessary. It's already obvious that this is a curriculum vitae. And also the personal details here are not really important at this stage. If they are interested in your profile and they want to know which country you are coming from, then you can continue with these discussions. But at the application stage, this is really not important. My objective was very general and doesn't really mean anything. So I would replace this with a professional statement, which summarizes who am I, what are my qualifications, and what am I looking for. And also, the different sections of the CV is just too much information that nobody's going to read. So I will show you a second version. I just converted this CV to a latest version. If I were preparing an application today, what I will do. So here we go. So I just converted this CV into this new updated version. As you can see, I deleted all these additional things which are not necessary. Maybe I can put them side by side so that we can compare. Yeah, so as you can see, I got rid of the photo here and also these personal details. And I just have my name boldly written here. I included my LinkedIn profile link. So this is the difference. I just switched from something very generic, which means nothing, to a summary of who am I, what are my qualifications, and what am I looking for. So that's what is summarized here in the professional summary. Then the other CV is also very chaotic. I wrote here master thesis, which is part of the MSc study. So it's very complicated for people to really follow. Where did you do what? And so I restructured the CV a bit differently. I have the education section here where I wrote about my MSc. So I put the title of the program here and then the date on the right. I wrote the name of the universities and then I just mentioned 5 of the courses that I feel are related closely to the PhD program instead of listing everything. And then this master thesis that I wrote here as a research experience, I placed it directly under the education so that the person who is reading your CV knows that the master thesis was under the education, the MSc education, so that it's easy for people to follow what you did. And then, yeah, I think I will just switch to the bigger screen so that we can see clearly what I did here. I have my name written boldly here, my address, and then I added the link to my LinkedIn profile. And I converted that generic objective to a professional summary, which says a motivated membrane engineering graduate with more than 2 years of combined academic and industrial research experience in material synthesis and characterization. I am seeking a PhD position in the field of nanomaterials for environmental applications where I can leverage my laboratory expertise and problem solving skills. So, this is very impactful. You tell them who you are. I'm a motivated membrane engineering graduate. Your experience, I have more than 2 years of academic and industrial experience in material synthesis and characterization. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for a PhD position in this field. So your professional summary should be a summary of 3 things. Who are you? What is your background and experience? And what are you looking for? I also include a link to my LinkedIn profile on the CV. So if the people want to find some further information about you, they can easily click on the LinkedIn profile and check you out. Then I reorganized the different sections. As you can see in this previous CV, I have everything everywhere, research experience scattered all over. So I summarized the things in a bit more clear order. So I have the education here. And under the education, I specify the title of the program or the certificate that I got, the date, and then the universities where I got this certificate from. I also wrote just 5 of the courses which are closely related to the PhD topic. So the PhD topic is about material synthesis, nanoparticles. And so I just looked through my course models to see which of the courses I took that are closely related to this PhD program to demonstrate your fit for the program. And then I also included information about my master thesis. So I wrote here the title of the master thesis. And then I included all that big paragraph you saw that I wrote in the previous CV. Yeah, I can just go back to show you. Yes, so this whole paragraph I converted into bullet points and I started with action verbs. So I demonstrated proof of concept, I synthesized polyaniline, fabricated. So when you do this, it makes it more impactful. When the person reads it, they can see this is what you did. And I did the same for the different sections. So BSc in biochemistry, first class honors, the date, I got it from this university. I included some of the models that I feel are relevant to the PhD topic. And then I also put my PhD, sorry, I also included my bachelor thesis with bullet points, starting with action verbs. So this is just how I transformed that long and complicated CV into something more orderly so that people can easily follow it. And then the other experiences that I had, either working as a teaching assistant or internships, I summarized under work experience and internships. And so, yeah, it's the same. You have everything summarized here with the title of the position, the date, and some of the things that you did. And then I also did a couple of presentations. So this was during my master program. This was after my BSc degree. I presented in a conference, so I included this information as well because it's important for PhD that you have good communication skills. Then I also wrote a list of the publications which are in the process of publishing. Another important section is your honors and awards or distinctions. So if you've received any awards during your studies, you should also list them in your CV. Then I summarize some of the key skills that I have, which are kind of technical skills that will be useful for the program and the project as well. So some characterization techniques, analyzing and interpreting scientific results, and so on. And then I did some training. And another important section is the languages. So the program is going to be in English, or I don't know, whichever program you are going to apply for. Whatever is the language, you should demonstrate that you have that a fluent level of the language that you are going to be using for studying. So in my case, it's English. Even though my mother tongue is not English, I am fluent in English, so I indicate English as my second language. And yeah, some hobbies. I don't know why I wrote scientific writing as my hobby, but that's quite interesting. And then for references, I just wrote available upon request. And so if someone is interested in knowing about references or if they ask for recommendation letters, you can provide them. So this is the original document that I used for my PhD application. And then I modified it to make it more simple structure and also, yeah, easy to follow. I would like to also show you one other document that I prepared in addition to my CV and cover letter for the application. I don't know why I prepared this extra document, but I just wanted to show it to you. I was considering that there are certain skills that are important for a PhD, such as communication, teamwork, and also organization and time management skills, which I couldn't fit anywhere into my CV and also the cover letter because the cover letter is just one page. You cannot really write a lot. So I prepared this additional document which I uploaded where I elaborated on all my different experiences in and I categorized them under communication. So I was serving as a public relations officer of my students association in my university. Then I talked about how I was in charge of the publicity of the event and yeah, just to communicate that I have some communication skills. Also, under teamwork, I spoke about the fact that I was involved in Erasmus Mundus Master Program and I was studying with people from different nationalities. So I was just basically trying to demonstrate that I have been working with people from different nations, different disciplines, and also I'm adaptable to working with people. I also demonstrated that I was part of the executive team that organized the National Congress when I was the public relations officer. When it comes to the interpersonal, organizational, and time management skills, I also shared the fact that I was working as a graduate teaching assistant in my university. I mentored students and also developed my interpersonal skills through that. And I also mentioned that I have good time management skills because I was working in a busy computer shop when I finished my high school. So I have no idea why I included this document, but it's just to give you an idea that I added this additional document. And so if you can incorporate some of these things into your CV and your cover letter, then you don't need to have a separate document to elaborate on that. But this was what I did for my application. I hope you found this video helpful as you prepare your PhD application documents. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, feel free to get in touch and I hope to see you soon in another video.